So this video is probably going to be more like an audio. I'm going to start and just narrate really what you'll be doing, but it'll be really hard to watch and listen, and the movements are so small, I'm actually not even sure that you'll notice them on the video, okay? So what I want you to do is come to your back, put something underneath your head, just making it so that your chin is in line with your forehead, and that it is not poking up to the ceiling in any way, or that your neck isn't being raised too high. Bend your knees and let the soles of your feet come to the floor. So these movements are called pandiculation, and they're really small. So you might actually see my right shoulder have some movement, maybe a little bit in my right hip, but that's probably all. You probably won't even notice my left side doing the movement, okay? So relax onto your mat. Release all the muscles that are tense right now into the support that the ground's providing. You might even lift your head and relax it down, suggesting and asking that head to relax even more than it is right now. Start with the shoulders. We'll let the right shoulder reach down towards the ground, and as if it's on hydraulics, retract back up to its neutral position. Take the left shoulder, stretch it down to the ground, and reach it back up to its neutral position. Back to right, down to the ground, and up again. Left, down to the ground, and up again. Coming to the right shoulder, lift it to the ceiling. Slowly and smoothly retract it back to its natural position. Do the same with the left, letting the rise of the movement be as smooth and controlled as the release of the movement. Going back to right, like there is hydraulics supporting and smoothing the whole process. Finally lifting the left and retracting it down. Bring your fingertips to the hip bones. Press the right hip bone up into your fingertips. Release it down. Press the left hip bone up into your fingertips. Release it down. Right lifts up, presses down. Left hip bone lifts up and presses down. Move to the back of the hip. See if you can press the right hip down into the mat and release it back up. Left hip down into the mat and release it back up. Move to the other side. Right hip goes down. Left hip goes down. Nice work. Now we're going to work the right side. I want you to squeeze the right shoulder and right hip towards each other and then relax back. Squeeze and release. Go to left side, squeeze hip towards shoulder, shoulder towards hip, and release. Shoulder to hip, hip to shoulder, and release. Sweet. Diagonal now, your right shoulder and your left hip draw up and towards each other and slide back. Draw to the floor and away from each other and slide back to neutral. Yeah, up and across the front of the body, back to neutral, down and away from each other, and back to neutral. Coming to the other side, we will take the right hip and left shoulder towards each other and release. Towards the floor, lengthen away from each other and release. Up towards each other and release. And away from each other and release. Soften into that centered place. Imagine a clock infused on the floor below your back. The tailbone is touching the 6. Your hips are at 3 and 9. The 12 is kind of at your mid-back. And roll your pelvis around the numbers of the clock. You'll go 2 rounds clockwise and a couple of rounds counterclockwise. When you come back to stillness, just ground. You can fall into stillness here, or if you choose, you can take the feet a little bit further away from you and just do some rhythmic movement, pressing into the feet and allowing yourself to, in this up and down plane from head to feet, just rock, creating some rhythmic movement where you can just feel the movement of your hips, of the spine, of the back of your head bobbing on the ground. The motion is coming from the soles of your feet, and you're just releasing into the rhythm of the movement. A little bit like shaking a snow globe right now. In that almost the best part is coming to stillness. And when you decide to come to stillness, I'm going to stay a little bit longer. When you do decide to come to stillness, we give ourselves a whole minute to just experience how all of those particles relax back down after being shaken up. They relax back down to their landing spots. Allowing that stillness to settle in. Feel that softening in your body. And that brings your practice to a close. So just scan your body and notice how it's feeling. Notice how it's responding to the stimulus that you chose to offer it today. Always taking those few minutes to feel the rewards of your practice. Have a good day.